Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet the great Brittany Breeding. She is a host and lifestyle reporter at CW33. She's spent almost a decade in journalism. We'll hear her story next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, as you saw in that intro, I spent 25 years in news, and I think about it, and I probably had it pretty easy. I didn't shoot my own stories. There are great weights that lie on the back of every reporter and journalist in the country these days. They have to shoot their own stuff. Brittany Breeding knows that very well. She's an MMJ. She's a host. She's a lifestyle reporter at CW33. Thanks for coming on the show.
I do it all. Thank you for having me.
You really do. And I can't believe you spent a decade in the business because you look so young. So
thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
All right, let's recount your career. What was market number one?
Number one was Little Rock, Arkansas. I worked at THV11 as a digital content producer, so behind the scenes, working on the website, social media, things like that. But for me, that wasn't enough. I wanted to be a reporter. I wanted to be out there telling people's story. So I made the jump to Sherman, Texas, about an hour north of Dallas right here. And there I was a reporter, but I still had to shoot my own stuff, do all my editing. I also produced the 4 o'clock newscast there.
Wow.
And then I would fill in anchor. So got my hand in the pot and a little bit of everything. Then after that, I jumped to Columbia, South Carolina, and I was the weekend news anchor as well as a 3-day-a-week reporter. And I would also help train all the new producers and produce whenever we needed somebody to fill in. Then after that, I feel like the story just keeps going on and on. I moved to Shreveport, Louisiana, where I was the 3 and 4 o'clock anchor, but I also still reported in the morning because I loved being out. I didn't want to just sit in a studio all day. I wanted to be connecting with my community, telling stories that mattered. And then I made the big jump right here to Dallas, switching from news to lifestyle.
Yes.
It's been very different.
This is the 4th largest market, so that's a big jump. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So I went out this morning as I was preparing for the show, and I went into YouTube, and I put her name into YouTube. I found dozens and dozens of videos. I found her sizzle reel from about a year ago. Let's go ahead and roll that.
I give you an up-close look at life as a Navy F-18 pilot and what it takes to land on an aircraft carrier.
I feel the need for speed.
The original Top Gun was a big reason why I joined the Navy, because it inspired me as a young man, and I hope it inspires the other men and women to join the Navy as well.
One of the things the USS George Washington is doing is getting pilots certified to land on aircraft carriers like this.
After that, the big moment, boarding a carrier onboard delivery aircraft and landing on the USS George Washington.
Each ship like the one you see behind me is filled with thousands of sailors, some of them even from right here in the Arklatex.
It was a trip that strengthened my respect for the Navy.
The women on board this ship tell me they're thankful they get to serve their country. Reporting somewhere in the Atlantic, I'm Brittany Breeding, KTVS 3 News.
To find that data, I sorted through thousands of spreadsheets of every single call for each of those months. What I found might shock you.
911, what's your emergency?
The department separates calls into high priority and low priority. Lower priority calls can involve things like vandalism and minor accidents. But in Shreveport, even burglaries are considered a low priority call. Over the last 4 years, those response times have gotten dramatically longer. Burglaries response in 2019 went from 4 minutes and 58 seconds to 8 minutes and 34 seconds.
They have KTVS 3 on, so they just heard everything everything you said. They are so excited that Sam has been declared the winner. We've been talking with a lot of people here, and honestly, they did not have any doubts that this was going to be the result. They were hoping that this was going to happen, and now that he has been declared the winner, everybody here is just very joyful. There's been a lot of dancing going on, and I think Sam is actually walking this way. He is about to come talk to us, so let me make some room for him right over here. So, congratulations, Sam. Thank you. How does it feel to be declared the winner?
Already getting tips about this case. I received an email with a new lead on a potential killer. I followed up with investigators, and they tell me this is the first solid lead in the case since 2004.
At this point, Kent Lyles and Tommy Connor are persons of interest.
Words family members of Jan Todd and Jody Toney never thought they'd hear. Hope they've been waiting on for 28 years.
Talked to one of the family members this week, and he just started crying. And he's like, you know, we've never had answers.
While considering running away to join the circus, I got to test out my skills on the low wire, a balance board, and even the unicycle.
She's on! She's on! She's doing it! She's doing it! Yeah!
It was such a great experience, and I was one of the first people to see the entire show in its full run. So here's a peek at what you can expect this weekend.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Ringling Brothers has been completely reimagined. A new show for not only you.
It feels magical. I mean, I can't really sum it up into words.
Well, Brittany, what impresses me the most is your range. I mean, you can do hard news, investigative to feature pieces.
Exactly. I loved doing hard news, but it does wear on you after a while, having to call grieving families, just reporting on murders and crime all the time. But now all I do is lifestyle, so I'm kind of leaning more into the fun side.
All right, so speaking of lifestyle, we're going to put on the screen a recent show that you did on Channel 33, and this was kind of a Turkish-inspired mosaic lamp piece?
Yes, so I get to report on all these fun businesses and activities and things to do around DFW. This was a mosaic tiles workshop, and it was so much harder than it looked. You have to individually pick up all the little glass pieces and put them on the lamp, and I am not artistic. I am creative, but not artistic.
Well, tell me how the stories come about. Do you get assigned stories? Do you find stories? How does it work?
So I luckily get to find all of my own stories. Most of the time I go to Instagram and I see what pops up on my For You page or see what people are sharing, what is going viral right now. And I just reach out to those local businesses and I'm like, hey, want to talk to me? And most of the time they're more than happy to.
I love it. And you have some exciting news because you just started hosting a show. It's called Fast and Functional. Let's go ahead and put this on the screen. I want you to talk about this show. So tell us about, this is a racing show.
It is. So I race cars in my free time. I know a lot of people would not guess just looking at me, but my husband got me into it about 10 years ago or so. I started racing about 4 years ago, and my boss knew that. So in a recent conversation that I had with him, he was like, why don't you start a show about racing? He gave me no guidelines, just to create something that I'm passionate about. So my co-host and I came up with the entire concept of the show, how I was going to play into the fast side of motorsports, luxury cars. He was going to play into mom SUVs, fuel-efficient vehicles, because he has no interest in racing.
Wow.
And we produce the entire show ourselves, edit the entire 30-minute show, report all the stories, and host it as well.
Well, it's impressive. It looks like the video quality is really unique. I mean, it's up there, isn't it?
Thank you.
And
yes.
Do you guys shoot that as well, or do you?
Yes, we shoot it as well. And I feel like we try to bring our best to the show because it really is a passion project for both of us.
Wow. And I love that you have a background in racing, because if I tried to do the same show, I would be exposed. There's a language in racing, and you know, racers know if somebody knows what they're talking about.
Exactly. And I feel like being in the scene, being in the community helps me be connected and know, oh, this event's going on this weekend. I need to talk about this grassroots organization.
Yes.
And everybody that you meet knows somebody else in the sport, because racing is just so interconnected.
When did you want to know? When did you know you wanted to be a journalist?
Honestly, not until sophomore year of college.
Really?
I started out as a chemistry major. I was going to be an eye doctor and make a lot of money and work like 4 days a week. I realized very quickly that I did not like math. So my mom actually suggested journalism. I tried it for a month, fell in love with it, and the rest is history.
There's something really cool about great storytelling, isn't there? I mean,
really
when you go out on a story where you know it's right there in front of you, do you feel pressure to, honor the story that's right there in front of you?
Definitely, especially if it's a hard-hitting story like a murder or a missing person. You just want to make sure that you are telling that story to the best of your abilities and showing them who that person was. They're not just another statistic. They're somebody's loved one.
So profound. Okay, so in the final minute or so, why don't you look into the camera on the left and talk to that teenage girl who wants to be you one day. What words of encouragement would you give to her?
I would say if you're passionate about it, just chase it. This business is hard. It's competitive, but if you love it, if you stick with it, if you learn from those people who have been in the business 5, 10 years, just ask them for advice and see what they can tell you. And time management is key.
Amen. You've been an amazing guest. We're going to end with her Instagram page so you can get in touch with her and share story ideas with her. The great Brittany Breeding. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.